Episode 6 of Agatha All Along completely blew my mind. I'm going to talk to you guys about why this was my favorite episode in the entire show so far, why it's a turning point, why the big twists announced are just the beginning of things that are coming down the line with the MCU, and we're going to break all of this down in this video. So like the video, let's try to get this to 50 likes, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into this.
I'm Spider-Man.
Unlike previous episodes, this episode is actually a flashback to the life of Billy Kaplan. This is the real identity of teen who grew up living outside of Westview, and he's celebrating his bar mitzvah where he meets several characters, aka the witches from the Witches Road, in his past. So right off the bat, we know we're meeting Billy Kaplan, who is from Marvel Comics, and he actually gets to meet Lilia, the first witch, at his bar mitzvah. She's a palm reader there, and she tells him that his life will eventually be split into two. She tells him to enjoy the time that he has right now, be living in the present, and we see her slip a rune into his jacket, revealing that Lilia was the one who placed the sigil on Billy in order to protect him from himself. When Lilia said that his life would be split into two, I kind of knew where they were going, and I just was hoping that they would do it, and they did. Billy's bar mitzvah gets cut short because of the Westview anomaly. The events that take place in Wandavision are happening right now. The end of the season is happening at this very moment. The hex is shrinking, and Billy and Tommy are about to disappear forever. Vision is fighting Vision, and Wanda is coming to terms with everything that she's done with Agatha. While Billy Kaplan and his real family are escaping and trying to move away from the hex, they get into a car crash that actually kills Billy. And while they're driving, they're turning the radio, and you can actually hear scenes from WandaVision playing, and I thought this was so cool. I also completely love the aspect ratio that this episode was shot in comparison to the other episodes without the 16:9 widescreen aspect ratio. The shot composition, the acting, the characters, this was a very, very well done episode and a very big step up from all the rest, which again, I thought the others were great too. But they get into this car crash and Billy dies, and the soul of Billy Maximoff goes into the body of Billy Kaplan. I was mind blown when this was happening. I thought they were going to do it. I was hoping they would do it, and again, they did it. His first word is Tommy. He's wondering where his brother is, and now we have a definitive reason for why Teen is on the Witches Road, or should I say Billy Maximoff. We see the events that lead Billy to Agatha Harkness and how he found out about her, and there's various characters that we meet along the way. First, I want to talk about Billy and his boyfriend. These characters are actually very likable, and I'm so excited to finally have a new Marvel character that we've had a couple episodes with already, but they feel like we're already super attached to them and that they really matter and that we actually care what's going on with their character. The past couple phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have introduced us to so many new characters, sometimes many at the same time, with things like Eternals, where it's kind of hard to really dive into one specific character and get attached to them. But I've got to say, Billy Maximoff, or Billy Kaplan, or Teen, Joe Locke's character, has got me hooked. My wife Madison and I were watching it, and I kept saying to her, I can't believe how attached we already are to this character, and I'm so excited to see where his character goes, especially now with the revelation that he is the son of Wanda Maximoff. This is exactly what Lilia was warning him about at his bar mitzvah, and now we know that the sigil was placed on him, and the sigil will be broken when it's ready to be broken, which happened at last week's episode. So the reason Lilia didn't know is because obviously the sigil works on both the person that it was set on as well as the person who cast it. So Billy's plan is to find the Witches Road and save his brother. That's what he wants from the road. In order to do this, he has to find Agatha Harkness, and he finds a very strange person online who may have some information, some inside information about Westview. While searching for Agatha, Billy runs into all of the other witches, so he's met all of these people before going on the Witches Road. It turns out the informant, the person that he's learning about Agatha from, is in fact Ralph Bohner. Now, this is the one thing that I'm still a little, bitter about in terms of WandaVision. Evan Peters comes back and plays Ralph Bohner, and I thought for a second that they were going to do a Quicksilver thing and have him actually be the alternate reality Quicksilver that was pulled in from the Fox universe, but it's just Ralph Bohner. Westview and Agatha made him crazy. He turns out to be the one who actually killed Sparky the dog in WandaVision. Agatha really messed this dude up, so he's willing to give this information to Billy. He finds Agatha and breaks her out of the spell. This time we're seeing the different perspective of what happened in the first episodes of Agatha All Along. Agatha was trapped in the spell that Wanda placed on her, and Billy gets her out. So now we're all caught up. We have the complete backstory of Billy Maximoff, why he's here and why he wants to go on the Witches Road, and that is to find his brother brother Tommy. Agatha realizes this, and her realizing who this person was allowed Billy to break the sigil and realize who he was himself, even though this whole time he kind of already knew. But now that Agatha knows, she thinks he's strong enough to carry on with the Witch's Road. Billy wants to do it alone, but Agatha says there's no way you could do that. So now these two characters who despise each other because of the events that happened in Wandavision are now being forced to work together in the Witch's Road, and I have no idea where this is going to end up. There are so many little Easter eggs in this episode, including Agatha's past. She was a survivor of the Titanic. She was Jolene in the Dolly Parton song. We also get so many references to Wanda, Vision, and Tommy, and I just really dug everything that this episode did. I'm going to reiterate the most important thing and my favorite thing about this episode is that I really care about Billy Maximoff. Even before we had the absolute confirmation that it was Billy Maximoff, I already cared about the teen character and I was really interested to find out more about him, and now we know that it's officially Billy Maximoff. This character is now a staple character for not just this show, but potentially shows that are coming on later down the line. We've been told that WandaVision is part 1, Agatha All Along is part 2, and there's potentially a third series, the Vision Quest series, that could potentially see the return of Tommy, Vision, and maybe even Wanda. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if Wanda showed up at the end of this season. I'm sure there's many more twists that we have yet to see. It's also very interesting because I don't know how they're going to continue this. I mean, this is really interesting. Two characters who hate each other being forced to work together. I mean, this is nothing new that we haven't seen before, but it's interesting considering we have no idea where it's going to end up. I was a big fan of this episode, and I'm so glad that this show is surprising me way more than I thought it would. This has been Marvel's best and biggest surprise to me this year, and I couldn't be happier. We only have a couple episodes left, and I'm dying to see where this ends. Down below in the comments, I read every single one, so leave your theories and also any Easter eggs or things that you noticed in this episode. I would love to read them, and I would love to talk to you about it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video, and I will see you all very, very soon.